Okay guys, so here it is. This is a 24-pound turkey that I have here that I'm going to attempt to cook for Christmas. This is my first time making a turkey. It is very intimidating, but we're gonna do this. So I have already removed the neck and the giblets. I have thoroughly washed it and cleaned it, and I'm just letting it now sit here and dry for a little bit and drain. Then I am next going to put it into the roaster, and I'm going to inject it, and I'm also going to rub it down with a compound butter that I made. So this is the compound butter that I made that I'm going to use to season the chicken with. I'm going to put it all up under the skin and as much as I can around the bird itself. I used 2 sticks of Kerrygold butter. I used onion powder, garlic powder. I used poultry seasoning, white ground pepper, excuse me, lemon pepper, smoked paprika, and also some Creole seasoning as well. And I left the butter out to soften, and I just mixed in the seasonings. I don't have exact measurements of how much. I just did it until the ancestors told me to stop, and I just made sure it's going to be nice and seasoned. And I'm going to rub this all inside of the skin right next to the meat and on the outside of the bird as well. Okay, after I let it dry, I have it now here in the roaster. And what I'm going to do now is separate the skin from the breast meat. So I'm taking it here and just kind of rubbing my hands in between that skin and that breast meat to start to loosen up that skin so I can get that nice butter that I made up under there. This is the big one. The skin is a little tight here, so just be gentle, make sure you don't poke through it. But just slowly guide your hands around, loosening up that skin so we can season all inside that breast meat. And next, after this, I'm going to inject it, and then I'll put my butter on it. So this is what we'll be using to inject the turkey. Tony Chachere's injectables, Creole style butter, injectable marinade. I bought 2 of these. So we'll be using this to inject the bird. So I went ahead and poured the marinade into my little glass container here. It says to, of course, prevent cross-contamination from going back and forth. If you're going to be not using all of that, then you want to pour it into something else so that you can pull just from that and not contaminate. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to use all of this. And like I said, I bought 2, so I might end up using both. I don't know. We'll see after this first one. Okay, so I drew up some of the marinade into the syringe, attached the needle, and you just want to go into all parts of the bird here into different angles, just injecting in all that marinade. A good push. I don't know if you can see it on your end, but I can definitely see it plumping up. So I'm just kind of moving my syringe in different areas, different angles. Coming out slowly so it doesn't squirt. See, it's starting to leak out there. Love it. I'm just gonna go into another area here. Same thing. Inject, squeeze. Pull out slow so it doesn't squirt out everywhere. All right, go into another section here. I'm just gonna repeat this process all around the bird. Okay, so I've gone around and injected the bird with the marinade. I just used the one. I think that is enough. It looks pretty plump from all the places that I've stuck it and injected it. So I think the one is enough. So now comes the slathering on of the compound butter that I made. So I'm just gonna use my hands and take a good amount of it. I'm gonna kind of start here up under that skin and just with my hands try to get it up under there and massage it through. This is absolutely messy, a bit fun, and just kind of rub some on top there. But just get your hands up under there and massage it up under that skin. Okay guys, so here it is now. I've put my butter on it. So from my observation, I think where I went wrong is that I should have rubbed it down first and then injected it, because you want your bird nice and dry, obviously, right? So I did, I patted it down nice and dry, let it drain. But then when I injected it, that obviously let some moisture come out onto the bird. So when I'm putting my butter on, it didn't really want to stick to the skin that well. So I think that just may have been user error. Again, my first time. But I think next time what I would do differently is that I would go ahead and put on the butter on the outside first while the skin is nice and dry, and then do my injecting afterwards. So any liquid that will come out won't stop the butter from sticking onto the bird. But I got it on as best I can, and I have more. So I think probably after that first hour or two of cooking, once the skin kind of starts to crisp and dry for a bit, I will go in and I will paste on some more of the butter. All right, I'm about to go ahead and get this thing into the oven. Obviously, you can go online and get a million different recipes of how to bake a turkey. This is my first time, as I said before, so I just went to butterball.com. I figured who would know better than them. So they said for this size bird, which is 24 pounds, and it's unstuffed, it said to cook it at 325 degrees for about 4.5 to 5 hours. So that's what I'm gonna do. And about every hour, I'm gonna baste it and check on it. It says to do it uncovered, and for like the last 30 minutes, you can then cover it to make sure that the breast doesn't dry out. So I'm just gonna be playing with it and looking at it, checking it. Then I'll use my meat thermometer at the end to make sure I'm at the right temperature. Okay, so we are 2 hours in now, and I'm taking it out. I'm going to baste it with the juices at the bottom of the pan. I still have some more of that compound butter that I have, so I'm going to put that around it as well. And I'm going to open up that second butter injectable, and I'm going to inject that around the bird again as well. Okay, we are now 4 hours in, and if I may say so myself, it is looking pretty good. So I am like amazing myself right now at how good this looks. Again, for my first time baking a turkey, this is looking pretty good. So 4 hours in, I just basted it again. I'm gonna inject it with a little bit more of the marinade and put it back in. I'm gonna go another hour for 5 hours, and then I'm going to tint it, and I think I'm gonna go to about 5.5 hours before I check its temperature to see where we're at. Okay, it's been about 5 hours now, and she's still looking good. I'm going to check its temperature now. So I'm gonna stick my thermometer into the breast meat, and said the breast meat should be about 170 to know that it's done. So let's see what we get. Let's stick it into the breast.
Oh yeah, I don't care what you do. Who said anything about you? Your friend there is coming over.
And if you can see that, I think it's a little blurry, but it's definitely about 171 getting to 180. So I think it's done. All right, we have the finished product here, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut into it and see what it looks like and maybe give a quick little taste to it. I'm gonna cut here into the breast. Oh wow, See that juice coming out of there? Oh yeah, she's moist. Let's see. It's gonna take off a little bit of that skin and all that juice. Perfect. All right, here we go. Oh, not dry, moist. The flavor from that marinade injected into it went throughout all the meat. I think I did pretty good for my first turkey. So